that made me think that social proof is one of the most important things when you're trying to sell your products and services, because social proof will open doors for you. Social proof will connect you to the right people. It will get you invited to speaking gigs, to writing books, and all of these wonderful things that build up your visibility, credibility, and bring you endorsements.
Welcome to the Audience Converter Podcast, the podcast for converting your audience from strangers to loyal fans. We dive deep and discuss how entrepreneurs, consultants, and coaches can level up their business to help more people in the world. Now here's your host, the creator of the Audience Conversion Method, Kimberly Weitkamp.
A new year is coming just around the corner. Are you going to stay stuck in the mindset of chaos, uncertainty, and pivots? Or will you take all of the changes that have happened in the last year and leverage them for sustained success in 2021 and beyond? Join me January 19th through the 22nd for the Biz Reset for 2021 Summit, where me and over a dozen experts are gathering to discuss marketing, mindset, money, and management, and how you can not only build your business and get in front of your community in 2021, but how to structure everything so that you have continued success in 2021 and beyond. Join me at theaudienceconverter.com/summit and grab your free ticket today. I have such a treat for all of you today. Today, I'm speaking with Monika Mileva about social proof. Now, if you're not really sure what that means, basically, it's about how you can showcase that you know what you're doing out there in the online world. Now, as community leaders, all of us need to have really strong social proof to showcase to our new community members and to our potential community members exactly how we're going to help them, right? We can say all we want about, oh, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, I've done that. You know, you can go really deep into all of your accomplishments and mention all of the places that maybe you've been published. But what really helps you in the long run is when other people can see that you have helped other people. So social proof is, saying that you've been showcased in thought leadership publications like Forbes or Inc. or even other podcasts. However, it's also a combination of you being able to showcase that, 1,000 people took your course last year, or 200 people have recently joined your community. There are so many different things that people look for nowadays because let's be honest, right? The online space is crowded, especially after everything that's happened in the last few months with the pandemic. Everyone has turned to being online. So it is now more important than ever to showcase your social proof so you can say, hey, I'm not just saying that I know what I'm talking about. There are all these other different people and different results that I can point to that showcase I want to help you. And as community leaders, as community builders, it's really important for us to be able to figure out how to use that social proof, where to find that social proof, and how to incorporate that social proof into our marketing in a way that still keeps it authentic. So I'm so excited for all of you to be able to listen to Monika and I's interview today. We really dive into social proof, what it is, and how you can leverage it and showcase it into the future so that you can build the right community for you and make sure you're attracting the right people who understand the value that you're going to bring to them. So let's have a listen. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Audience Converter Podcast. I'm Kimberly Weitkamp, your host, conversion copywriter, and marketing strategist. And today we're going to be talking about something very, very important when it comes to growing and building your business as an entrepreneur, and that is social proof. Showcasing exactly what you do and that you have done it for other people. It's so important online, especially nowadays. And to help me talk about this wonderful topic, of course, I have a very special guest. Her name is Monika Mileva. She is a marketing consultant and she helps entrepreneurs scale fast by building social proof and expert status and blending automation, organic, and paid marketing for faster growth. She's helped several clients grow to doing 7 figures in generating revenue, and she's got a lot of experience with building all of the different things that you need to start gathering social proof. So Monika, I'm so excited to have you on the show, and welcome.
Thank you so much, Kim. I'm very happy to be here.
So excited to have you. You know, I met Monika at an event. Unfortunately, it wasn't live, but that seems to be the case for the foreseeable future, called JVology Live. And Monika just knows so much about so many different parts about building up and building out your marketing. But something that's so incredibly important is focusing on social proof, which, you know, before we dive into what that is and exactly how to grow it, my first question for you, Monika, is, you know, how did you get started working in social proof and as a marketing consultant? You know, what was your path to becoming an entrepreneur?
Okay. So I'm not going to take you too far back because I have been in business since 2010, so about a decade. But I was doing something completely different. I was a local business. And then I started getting interested in marketing, and I did a little bit of local consulting, and then found a business partner in America. I live in Australia, so he was living in America, and we came together and created a marketing agency. So for a little while, we were a pure agency. We were providing all the funnels, the bots, all these things that people need as infrastructure to run their businesses. And then our paths changed, and I started thinking about going more into the consulting side, still providing the infrastructure, but getting into consultancy more. And you're also in marketing, and you know that when you talk to someone and you say I'm in marketing, the eyes basically glaze over, because marketing is such a big industry, such a big word, that if you do not slot yourself into a niche, you will never be able to actually provide an excellent service for your clients. So I did a little bit of soul searching. I looked around. I had a look at a lot of my clients and a lot of people that I know that are in business who were getting passed over for people with better social proof, regardless of whether or not they were better than the people that were trying to sell their services. So that made me think that social proof is one of the most important things when you're trying to sell your products and services, because social proof will open doors for you. Social proof will connect you to the right people. It will get you invited to speaking gigs, to writing books, and all of these wonderful things that build up your visibility, credibility, and bring you endorsements. So I started getting really deep into social proof. I started looking at ways to build social proof, and I started working with every single one of my private clients on building their social proof, even before we launch our first offer.
Very interesting. So you were finding that a lot of your clients, they had these really amazing products, but they were getting overlooked, or people just kind of weren't putting a lot of interest into them because they didn't have social proof. So if you could, give me the 45-second explanation. What is social proof when it comes to marketing?
Okay, social proof is a fancy word that we use for being well known. And that's not even 30 seconds. Basically, when you're well known, people gravitate to you. They gravitate to your offers. And let's just think of people that we all know. Let's start with some huge names like Tony Robbins. He does not need to be introduced. He does not need to tell people that his products and services are good. He just needs to put an offer out, and everyone who is in his community will go and buy it. It's the same with Amy Porterfield. It's the same with James Wedmore. It's the same with Russell Brunson. We've got all these people that we admire, and the reason they're so successful is because they have the social proof.
Got it. So it's just a way for you to get known in your little corner of the internet.
Exactly. And don't forget that, especially right now, everybody's fighting for that little corner. So the more visible you are, the more social proof you have, the better positioned you are to be able to sell your products and services.
Got it. So it's very important, obviously, for us to have social proof, because without it, then people kind of can't find us. We're not known. People don't know who we are. Like all of the names you mentioned, even though I may not have bought from any of those people, or I might have bought from one or two, I know who all of those people are because, people know who you are. You've become known for that particular thing in your little corner of the world. So how do you kind of build social proof? Like, is there a process? Is there a way for you to become that person that's known in your little corner?
Yeah, of course. Of course. I actually work on 15 different ways with my private clients to build that social proof. And some of them are so simple and so obvious, but people are just not doing them. And some are a lot more complicated. Some include introductions and a little bit more work. But basically, it's with you and what you can do to start building that social proof. And let me give you like the simplest example. The simplest example that I always give is a lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs have their social profiles closed or not filled the right way. For example, a lot of people will send me a friend request, and before I accept the friend request, I will go and look at their Facebook profile. And a lot of these profiles are locked to the public. So I cannot see who you are. I cannot see what you do. I cannot see anything about you as a business owner or even in your personal life. So I don't know if I want to connect with you. And this is so important, so important.
I can definitely see where that's like a stopping point. I have also noticed like this huge rise now, people sending friend requests on social media. It's become like the place people expect you to be talking business and be talking personal now. And, I've had people reach out to me and say, let's be friends. But they don't even send like a message, right? It's just literally a friend request. And I'm like, I don't know where you came from. I don't know who you are. I don't know why we're connected. Like it's such a shot in the dark, especially when you can't actually view their profiles.
Yeah. So you see how people are stopping themselves from building relationships, rapports, communities, because nobody. This is the thing about social media. There's a lot of bad things, and a lot of bad people, and a lot of stalkers, and all these things that horrify us. They are out there, so we are afraid. We are afraid to accept that friend request if we have absolutely no idea who that person is. A lot of people don't even put a link to their business page. And that's the bare minimum you should be doing. At least put a link to your business page. Another one that is so easy to get is client testimonials. And video testimonials are incredible. They do raise your profile. They do build that social proof, because when I see 5 or 6 people talking about the experience with you, the results they're getting, I'm a lot more likely to call you rather than somebody that is just beating themselves in the chest how good they are.
Absolutely. It's one of those things where, we kind of are a little bit skeptical about when people say, oh, this is what I've done. But when somebody else says the exact same thing about that person, we're like, oh, okay. So they've actually helped somebody achieve that, because you can see the person, you can see this is a real person that actually exists, that they helped and they made a difference.
Yeah. And I'll give you an example with myself, which has nothing to do with business. It was personal, but I was looking for a specific type of lawyer. So I went on Google and Googled, I need this type of lawyer in my city, and all these fancy lawyers in the city, in the big towers came up. I spoke to a couple. They weren't that helpful. They kind of said, yes, let's make an appointment and all that. And then I came across this other person who said, I do exactly this thing, and go and watch my TV. He calls it a TV show, which is not, but, and he talks. I watched 40 videos, 40. I watched with, and every single video was, this is what my client needed. This is what I did. This was the result. Guess who got my business?
The person with videos, for sure.
The person with videos, the person who actually told me what I should be expecting when I hire him, rather than the the lawyers in the city who said, you should come and talk to us, and it's going to cost you that much money just to talk to us.
Right, because you're not even sure like what it is that you need to know before you go and talk to somebody. So you want to know, what is it that I need to know before I need to know?
Of course. So, we really need to start thinking about that. Like, what are we putting out? How are we attracting people? And what are the ways to attract better caliber people and more people that need our services or products?
Got it. So you mentioned that there were like 15 different ways or 19 different ways that you work with your clients on how to build social proof. That's a huge, huge number. And you mentioned too, right? Making sure to like have your profile open on social media and making sure to use the power of video and especially video testimonials. What's a quick one that somebody could start implementing or something that would only take like a few minutes a day?
What will take a few minutes a day? That's a good one. I would say just getting on live video. Basically, we all know that we need to educate our community, whether that's a how-to video, whether it's a training, whether it's a walkthrough, whether it's a quick chat with somebody that will make a big impact to our clients. We need to educate our people. So you just take your phone out, put it in front of you, and talk for 3 minutes. 3 to 5 minutes. Facebook actually likes 3 to 5 minutes videos.
And what should you talk about for 3 to 5 minutes?
You should talk about the topics that are relevant to your target market, of course. And it shouldn't be fluff. Like, something that I really hate is the fluff people put out, and then they say, if you want to know more, call me or schedule an appointment. What I like to see is the real meat and potato. I want you to tell me, I want you to give me something tangible. I want you to give me something that will take me one step closer to my desired result. And I've seen this time and again with people that are very successful. They give so much that it just makes people call them and go, I want to know more. And I'll give you a small example. I work with a lot of authors as well. And a lot of them say, I'm going to give my first chapter. And then if they like it, they will read the rest of the book. I'll give my first chapter for free. What I tell them is, why don't you give your best chapter? The best chapter, because the people's psyche thinks, if you've just given me this amazing chapter of your book, I wonder what the rest will be, the stuff that I have to pay for.
So that mentality of, what is it, the introduction level, or is it the really high quality stuff? Because, I operate under the same mindset, right? You can't give away too much, in my opinion. Like, so many people have this idea that, if I share that, that's like the name of my framework, it's going to be too much. If I share the best chapter of my book, they won't want to read the rest of it. But the reality is that's what, kind of makes you stand above the rest, because you're not just giving fluff. You're not giving that 101 level stuff. You're giving the really deep details on something. And that's what makes people kind of sit back and say, hey, that person has something interesting to say. I want to learn more about what they have to say.
Yeah. And it's not only that. People understand that you actually care about them. You genuinely want to help, rather than you're all about a quick grab for money. And that just doesn't sit well with me. I believe that we all have a gift, and we all should bring that gift out to the world. And the people who are our people, they will naturally gravitate to us.
Definitely, for sure. I wholeheartedly believe that as well, that, the people who are looking for us, they're actively already looking for us. So us being present, us being out there and giving the right information, then they're going to find us, because that's, there's somebody out there right now looking for the help that you can give. And by not sharing, you're kind of making it more difficult for them to find you and to find the help that they're looking for.
Of course. And the more we give, the more these people like us and trust us, and they become like a family. There's so many. Amy Porterfield is a prime example. She's so down to earth. If you listen to Amy's podcasts, every episode is a mini training. Like Amy should be charging for these podcast episodes, but they're out there in the world, they're free, and she's freely giving all her knowledge. And yet she's I don't know, I think she's like a $10 million business.
Yes, some very large number for sure. So we talked about, one of the easiest ways for you to start building social proof, which is to ask your happy clients to give you a quick testimonial, and even better, to record a video. One that you can do in 5 minutes a day is just start going live with your really best stuff on Facebook or wherever you choose to spend your time. And then we talked about, making sure that your social profile is open. How can somebody... What would you say is a method of building social proof that you can reuse again and again, or a way that you can kind of make it work for you in multiple ways?
Yes. So as I said, I have 50 different ways that I build social proof with my clients. And it all starts with where exactly you are right now, because all of us at a different stage. Some people are just starting, or even if they have started, they don't have the audience. They don't have, like, people are not seeing their offers. And that's one of the biggest reasons why people don't buy from you, because they don't see your offers. So it all starts with the strategy from where you are to where you want to be, and what are the simple ways at first, simple and free ways to start building, like open up your social profile, start doing some lives. And then we go to a little bit more complicated with, let's see, the podcast, the interviews, the people that you need to get connected. Who will endorse you? Can you write a book? Can you speak? It's very, very individualized. And the framework for each business could be completely different.
That's so important to remember when talking about any kind of marketing, is that, you can go out there and see a strategy. You can go out there and find a tactic, even if we're talking about, Facebook Lives and what to talk about. But the important part is to realize that where you are is just as important as what you're doing, because the process and what you need to do to move from where you are to where you want to be versus where Amy Porterfield is and where she wants to be is very, very different. So, each of our businesses is individualized, and it's so powerful for us to realize that where we are is okay. And where we want to move to is okay, but we need to make sure to create the strategy that matches where we are and not necessarily where we want to be. Because if you use the strategy that's based on where you want to be as opposed to where you are, you're not going to see as much return.
Yeah. I think that we should all stop following cookie cutter strategies, because they don't work for most of us. It's just, we're so different. I have clients who are deathly afraid of going live, and that one little thing stops them from moving forward completely, and they're frozen, they're stuck. So we look at ways, how can you create a video, not a live, a video where you're calm, where you can do it several times if you need to, but then let's look at the tools that will allow you to be live when you're not live, and various little things like that. So we really need to work with our strengths and our weaknesses, because the things that are very simple and very easily achievable for you may not be for me. And if we're following the same framework or the same cookie cutter strategy, you may have incredible results, and I may be in the same spot, stuck, after I implement it, because it's not working for me.
Absolutely. That's kind of my whole approach with marketing as well, is, we're going to focus on where are you already spending your time? What time do you already have in your schedule? And how can we make it work best for you so that we make sure that you're spending your time and your energy in the right place? I use a platform agnostic approach to marketing. It's not that it doesn't matter where you put your energy in, it's that you need to put your energy in the right place for you and your business and where you are. And the idea of just telling everybody, oh, well, the only way for you to make a difference is to go live on Facebook. And your business is different than the other person's business, and your comfort level with going live, as you said, might be different with somebody else's. So it's so important to realize that, the magic button strategies that, if you only do this one thing for 20 minutes, you're going to be magically better. It doesn't necessarily work, because it's so important for you to realize that your particular business is your business, and you need to make an approach that works for you and your business and where you are.
Of course. And the biggest problem is that people are still buying those cookie cutter strategies, hoping that something will change. And a lot of times it doesn't. And that's why so many people actually don't finish courses, because they realize halfway through that something is not right for them. Like, not that the course is bad, it's just really hard for them to follow.
Definitely. So Monika, we're nearing the end of our time here. If you had to tell people one thing that they need to do after listening to this podcast, what is that one big action item?
That will be exactly what we just spoke about. Look into yourself. Even if you have to get a pen and paper, write down your strengths, write down your weaknesses, and then create a strategy that works with your strengths and removes those weaknesses. Because when you work with your strengths, you will go forward. You will be happy to go forward. You will have the hustle to go forward, rather than trying to put yourself into somebody else's framework.
Absolutely. 5 to 10 minutes of just writing out your strengths, your weaknesses, what you absolutely want to do and what you absolutely don't want to do. I've heard here lately, TikTok, it's the new biggest thing. You go on TikTok and you can grow your business to 1 million followers and tons of people are going to buy from you. But, if you don't like dancing, if you don't want to make 20-minute videos, if you don't want to use the app in the first place, then obviously TikTok is not right for you. So definitely just taking that time to sit down and write out your strengths and your weaknesses and then deciding how to move forward. It's really powerful. So Monika, I want to say thank you so much for coming on and being here with us today. If people want to learn more about you and what you do, where can they do that?
They can always find me on my website. It's called theexpertimpact.com. They can also find me on Facebook. I hang around Facebook a lot. It's my favorite platform. And I also want to give your listeners a freebie with all 15 ways of how to build social proof. And we will put that in the show notes.
Fantastic. That is going to be so powerful that it will be 15 different methods you can use to build up your social proof so that the right people can find you and the right people can grow to know, like, and trust you and then actually see your offers when you make them. So Monika, thank you again so much for coming on and sharing your wisdom. And it was so exciting to talk with you today about social proof.
Thank you so much for having me, Kim.
Remember, everyone, until next time, keep calm and carry on.
Thanks for listening to the Audience Converter Podcast. For more information and important links about today's show or for access to our website, visit theaudienceconverter.com. Take a moment to rate and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.